All right, good day everybody, and welcome back to the channel. For those of you guys that are new here, welcome. Go ahead and hit like, comment, and subscribe. Tap that notification bell so you can receive all of the uploads to the channel. Alrighty, so today I'm here to give you guys your ancestor message. And so today, oh my goodness, it has been an amazing experience this morning. Like, they have really been at it. Okay, and so first, I want to send my condolences to who's ever watching that just lost a relative. Okay, so I want to send my condolences to whomever's watching that just lost a relative in like recent months. And this relative, this ancestor, they were saying that, you know, a lot of people don't understand your grief, and they don't understand the magnitude of your grief, but it's not for them to understand. All right, and they want you to heal the way that is appropriate for you to heal. Okay, so that's the message from that particular ancestors. But getting into the full message now, your ancestors are like, this is a great time to bring this idea to life, and the universe supports it. Okay, this is a great time to bring this idea to life, and the universe supports it. Like, I see birth. All right, so it's time for you to birth this thing into this realm of reality, and then it's time for you to nurture it. Right, so you birth it, and then you nurture it, and then you get it to a certain stage that it can walk on its own. Okay, that's pretty much like the gist of what this ancestor is saying. So you have this idea, you sat on this idea for a long time. You're a bit concerned about your foundation and how this is going to all influence that, right? And your ancestors are like, nah, birth this thing right now. All right, bring this thing into this realm of reality right now. Nurture that thing for as long as it needs to be nurtured. And then once you nurture it to the point that it could walk on its own, okay, kind of like you do a baby. All right, so yeah, your ancestors definitely want you to birth this thing. All right, it's time to create it. You've been sitting on it for a while too, and it's not saying that you haven't done anything else. All right, they're saying that you've done other things, and now it's time for you to do this thing. All right, and this thing needs to come on ahead and come while the universe, while the energies support this thing to happen. They're also saying, like, if you're worrying about your foundation is strong. It's going to be strong. It's going to continue to be strong. It's not going to alter. It's not going to alter. Okay? So you don't have to worry about your foundation. Your ancestors are also letting me know, like, that they see that a lot of you all are giving them energy, and that's awesome, and they are wanting you to continue that motion. And they're saying that they're going to continue to be your eyes and your ears. Like, they're going to continue to be your eyes and your ears. They're going to provide you wisdom. They're going to provide you wisdom. They're going to provide you guidance. They're saying to keep a cool head, like, stay level. You know, like kind of maneuver like a duck, right? You see how the ducks be on top of the water and they look like they just gliding across the water, but if you look underneath the water, you'll see the duck little feet going like this, right? So they're saying, like, just keep it cool, even though things around you may be a bit catastrophic, or even though things around you may not be, you know, going exactly how you wanted it. They're just saying to keep a cool head. Okay, just keep it cool. Don't let everybody else see that you know, just keep it cool. All right, but your ancestors are definitely wanting you to know that the universe is supporting you. Many of you have went through this phase right now, and that's why they want you to keep a cool head, because whatever this thing is that your ancestors are showing me that came up against you, like kind of like it was supposed to take you out. It was supposed to take you out, but they're saying that you defeated it. All right, you defeated it, and you're going to continue to be successful, and you're going to continue to triumph. when things like that come against you, because you have the tools that you need to get through these things. And at that moment, you didn't see how you was going to get out of it. And maybe at this moment, because some of you may be still kind of in that window, and so you don't see how you're going to get out of it. But your ancestors are like, you're going to be victorious, you're going to be triumphant, you're going to get through this thing, right? You're going to get through it, okay? Your ancestors like, look, you need to surrender this unhealthy relationship, all right? Like, it's not what they want for you. So I don't know whether this is a friend or actual relationship, but it's not what they want for you. And speaking of relationships, your ancestors want you to surrender to intimacy, okay? So surrender unhealthy relationships for those of you that are in an unhealthy relationship. And for those of you that are seeking a relationship, or that are maneuvering in, or you're in a relationship it's kind of long term, because they've been on these relationships heavy, surrender to intimacy. Like, get back to the intimacy of the relationship, okay? But they definitely want y'all to focus on your relationship. So for those of you that are in a relationship that's not serving you, whether this be the friendship or whether this be an actual relationship, a working relationship, a relationship with a significant other, is toxic, you don't need it, they want you out of it. And for those of you that are in a relationship, and that's that wholeness that they would want you to check on. So that relationship, the intimacy needs to pick up, right? And many of you having issues with being intimate, all right? So they like, live a little bit, have fun, live a little bit, right? But yeah, so intimacy, surrendering to that intimacy, okay? But your ancestors want you to know that they're going to be there guiding you. Water spirits, all right? Water spirits, getting into the water, or getting near the water. Maybe listening to a waterfall. Maybe when you meditate, listening to just water. Or when you're just relaxing, listening to water before you go to sleep. Or taking a bath. Some kind of way connected with this water. Today they want you to connect with that water. Music. Okay, so your ancestors are really wanting you to get back to the music. So for those of you that like sing or play instruments, they really want you to get back to the music. They're like, get back into the music, singing, playing instruments. Okay, so this is something that y'all did like in y'all family. Music is something that you guys did in your family, and so your ancestors are really wanting you to connect back to that musical side of your family, because I'm feeling like if you don't get back to it, like it'll kind of be lost. This, like, the generation that you're in, if y'all don't teach y'all kids, or if y'all don't pass it down, it's gonna be lost. So they don't want to lose that, because that's like and that's gonna help you connect with them. So for you guys that have ancestors that were like really heavy into music, you getting back into the music is gonna help you connect with them, all right? Because that's like y'all thing, right? You see, every ancestor is different. You're gonna connect with your ancestors differently. So some may connect with their ancestors through cooking, because your grandmother had that favorite dish, or your grandpa had that favorite dish that you're the best at it, and you know how to make it, and you connect with your ancestors through that good food. Others of you may connect with your ancestors through music. Surrender your addictions. Okay, so don't carry that through the bloodline, your addiction. Your ancestors are wanting you to surrender your addictions, right? And they are wanting you to surrender them so that this does not pass down through your bloodline, because this is an unhealthy practice, and they want you to replace it with a healthy practice, guys. So surrender your addictions, okay? And for those of you that have, like, there's a little child that came to visit, all right? A little child that came to visit. It was a he, too. And they're doing okay, all right? They're doing what kids do and having a good time. But they're doing okay. It was a lot of kids that were hanging out this morning, which was very interesting to see because, you know, usually just like ones or twos, but this child brought all of their little kid friends to hang out this morning. All right, so for those of you that have lost a child, they are doing quite well, and they are actually coping very well on the other side with their little friends. Okay, this child was definitely into like I know this don't say much, but this child was very much into like the robotic stuff, like the technical stuff, but not like on a computer as much. Like it was like real robots, like making real robots. Okay, so whoever's that for, he's doing awesome. All right, but yeah, so surrender those addictions, you guys. Do not pass those addictions down to the bloodline. So whatever you got to do, try your best to begin to replace those addictions with healthy habits. Okay, replacing those addictions with those healthy habits. So your ancestors, yo, they coming through. They like, it's like more of them coming, and I feel like more of them coming because more of you guys are coming, and that's amazing, and I appreciate them. So they really want you to go through your healing, however you're gonna go through your healing. Don't worry about people worrying about how you healing, or worrying about how long it's taking you to get over something. They don't care nothing about none of that. They're like, you need to go through your process the way that you go through your process. It is the perfect time for you to birth that idea that you've been sitting on. And that when you birth that idea, don't just birth it. Don't just put it out there, because a lot of people start things and they don't never finish things. They're saying that you need to birth that thing, nurture that thing, and get that thing off the ground. All right? And you should not stop until you get it off the ground. Teachers teach. Teachers teach. Okay, yeah. Teachers teach, guys. So if you are a teacher, they wanted you to begin to pour into other people, begin to teach other people what you know. You have this intellectual property that only you possess, and they're like, teachers teach, you need to teach. Like, you need to pass this stuff down, and you need to pass it down to your family members so that they can understand it. They don't run from this. Don't run from this. Your family also needs to understand it, okay? Your family also needs to understand it, because the more that you get into this, the more that they're going to be revealing to you, because they're saying they're going to start revealing a lot of things to you. All right, when they reveal these things to you, it's going to be up to you to pass those things down so that they are not lost. All right, so they don't want you holding the information. They don't want you to hold this spiritual stuff, right? They want you to learn it, develop it, master it, and pass it down. Because there are people within your reach. There are people within your reach that only you gonna reach. All right, and they want as many people to understand this information as possible. You know how like when you was in the church and they were like, we gotta spread the gospel. Your ancestor. You gotta spread the gospel. I don't know who ancestor this is. You gotta spread the gospel, okay? Okay? That's what they want you to do. Spread the gospel. Alright, and this is the gospel. Alright? This is the gospel. This ancestor work is the gospel. Because this is the stuff that they need. This spiritual stuff is the gospel. Alright? Keep studying. Keep studying. Keep learning. Keep teaching. Alright? What else do you guys have? You guys, I really believe that's the end of the transmission, but you guys got it. You don't have to worry about your foundation. Your foundation is going to be strong. There's going to be harmony coming into your life. There's going to be balance. If there's discord and harmony in your relationship, hey, get back to the intimacy of that relationship, all right? If there's no harmony in the relationship and there's conflict in the relationship, get back to the intimacy of that relationship, because that is what's going to, look, the emergency vehicle, y'all. Oh, it's important for you to get back to the intimacy of that relationship, all right? So get back to the intimacy of that relationship, because that is what's going to help turn that whole situation around. And for those relationships that don't serve you, dang, surrender those relationships, okay? Y'all, I am traveling. All right, it is my solar return. I am very excited about what's ahead, all right? And I appreciate you guys tuning in every day, supporting the channel, supporting me, And yeah, I'll holler at y'all.